There are 10,000, 20,000 sightings reported per year in the U.S. So that's a lot.
During the 1940s and 50s, sightings of flying saucers became widespread throughout the United States. Reports of strange occurrences in the skies provided Hollywood with materials for depictions of imaginary threats in their films. These concerns are shown on movie posters like Earth versus the Flying Saucers in 1956. Concepts of alien life, the presence of canals on Mars, and Martian societies all have one thing in common. Flying saucers, representing both, present humanity's aspirations and concerns. Should we hope these aliens would be beneficial and nice? Or should we prepare for them to try and destroy us? Today we're going to talk more about some recent alien object sightings. Have UFO sightings increased more than ever? What's the military point of view on alien life? Is Ukraine under the eye of extraterrestrial life? A Navy intelligence minister told senators at a conference on May 10, 2022, that the incidence of UFO sightings recorded to their system had climbed to roughly 400 from 143 the previous year. The Navy discovered no evidence of alien life in 2021 despite considerable searches. There have been unexplained instances. However, nothing otherworldly has been found, as confirmed by Deputy Commissioner of Naval Intelligence Scott W. Bray to legislators. He said neither of them nor any American airmen had attempted communication with the alleged objects because they all appeared unattended. Bray claims that since the Army coined the name UFO, the number of reported sightings of these mysterious flying objects has increased dramatically. He cited advancements in sensing devices, the widespread use of drones and other non-military unmanned aircraft systems, and the prevalence of aerial clutter like mylar balloons as the reason for the rise. The incidents described in the 2021 paper occurred as far back as 2004, as determined by various sensors and the accounts of military pilots. However, because they are records of occurrences that took place in the past but weren't filed at the time, recent ones sometimes lack sensor information. That demonstrates the success of the military's attempts to standardize reporting of such instances. In the cockpit, Navy and Air Force crews now have step-by-step protocols for reporting UAPs, Bray said. Indiana Democrat Andre Carson commended the effort, saying he can understand why pilots might be hesitant to report UFO encounters due to the widespread skepticism regarding such events and the associated mockery that has often accompanied such reports. The May 2022 conference of the 10th was the first public hearing of UFOs in almost 50 years, and it featured testimony from Ronald S. Moultrie, the Pentagon's chief of intelligence. During the session, he pointed up the conflict between public access and individual privacy. Moultrie said that he is a fan of fiction and that, like everyone else, he is inherently fascinated by the cosmos and all it holds. But he clarified that protecting American soldiers and military bases was his first concern. It's our duty to protect our sources and methods, and we take that seriously, Moultrie emphasized. Their top concern is maintaining public confidence while guarding capabilities critical to the success of their military forces. We do not want potential adversaries to know exactly what we see or understand. Therefore, a classified meeting was convened after the hearing. Moultrie told legislators that improving communication with the FAA and other government entities is a primary objective as the program moves forward. Both Bray and Representative Bray Wenstrup of Ohio argued that the civilian reporting process should be standardized. A few civilian reviews are included in the military system, although service members submit the great majority. This was the first public hearing on the issue, though the Air Force convened a study and hearing on it in 1969 at Gerald Ford's urging. A section in the 2020 COVID-19 amnesty bill required U.S. intelligence agencies to prepare a report on UAPs within 180 days, which sparked the latest hearings. That report came out back in June of this year. This begs the question, why would authorities care about UAPs first? One fascinating notion is that the UAPs are alien spaceships visiting Earth. Its widespread acceptance can be attributed to its incorporation of decades worth of fantasy films, ideas about what went down at Area 51, and sighting accounts from the general people. Unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, within a nation's airspace may pique officials' interest for practical reasons. They could be indicators of new technologies being researched by a potential enemy. As UAPs are regarded as man-made inventions, they were the main focus of the most recent hearing. No one addressed any when asked if they had proof that alien spaceships have wrecked or entered Earth. Critical security issues were likely considered in private classified meetings of the sessions. Navy pilots have captured fast-moving flying objects in the sky on video, which is only one example of an unusual phenomenon captured on film. However, to leap to extraterrestrial life, you need proof that is way stronger and more clear. This evidence needs to be so spectacular that experts from all over the globe can adequately examine it. After all, investigating the possibility of alien life is a fascinating scientific and societal puzzle. As evidence, Vice cites a new preprint document authored by Kiev's main astronomical observatory in conjunction with the Ukrainian National Academy of Science, claiming that far too many UFOs are hovering above Ukraine. South of Kiev, in the town of Vinarivka, researchers from the main astronomical observatory of the National Academy of Sciences compiled their findings into a study called Unidentified Airborne Phenomena 1. Researchers suggest that observatories started looking for UFOs because of the public's heightened interest in the subject. The researchers who conducted the study remarked that a large number of items of unclear nature are observed, and these entities can be found everywhere. The growing number of reported UFO encounters, in concert with government-funded research into the phenomenon, highlights the significance of this investigation. Like the United States, Russia has confirmed that it is investigating UFO reports with its scientific community. Even though the Russian Academy of Sciences has been looking into UFO sightings that are not associated with aliens, the director of Russia's space industry stated in a broadcast with Russian television that aliens seem to be at fault for some UFO sightings featuring the rider. In regards to the battle, the Ukrainian paper makes no note of the sightings. The United States has repeatedly warned, speculating that China and Russia use UFOs as cutting-edge military technology. Nonetheless, the US Congress has acknowledged in recent years that not all UFOs are man-made. The violent battle in Ukraine, in which Russia allegedly uses advanced armaments like long-range missiles and lasers, has piqued public interest in these occurrences. However, Ukrainian authorities have thus far uncovered no proof connecting the sightings to any form of military action. Throughout the 7.5-year-long war that has ravaged Ukraine, the country's airfields have been crowded with airplanes, bombs, and planes requiring transporting ambassadors and officials from other supportive states. In the middle of a violent conflict, UFO sightings stand out as some of the most frightening and puzzling visitors. UFOs mentioned in the Ukrainian study are of the phantom variety, defined as objects that are completely black mass that does not produce and takes the entire radiation landing on it. Researchers noted that the UFO's high rate of motion made it challenging to capture clear images of them. The eye does not solve phenomena lasting less than 1/10 of a second, the report claims. Furthermore, regular cameras and video recorders cannot capture the aerial phenomenon. Recognizing UAP is facilitated by fine-tuning your camera's shutter, frames per second, and dynamic range. It's worth remembering that in the past, fighter jets were dispatched to look into reports of unidentified flying objects. This study makes the bold assertion that the researchers came up with a brand new way of observation due to the high velocities of the items. The exposure time was selected so that the object's appearance would not change dramatically during the time the shutter was open. The frame rate was determined by the camera's focal distance and the moving object's motion. The exposure duration was less than 1 millisecond at a frame rate of at least 50 Hz. Each discovery was assigned a label, such as cosmic or phantom, based on how plausible the researchers felt it was. Since cosmic stood out so firmly against the background sky, the experts reportedly gave them bird names. The paper did note, however, that phantoms are low-contrast entities with a variation of several to around 50%. Cameras around 75 miles apart allowed researchers to get multiple clear looks at the mysterious flying objects. The data collected also shows that UFOs can be spotted flying solo, in pairs, and in big groups. Ghosts were spotted at altitudes between 10 and 12 kilometers in the troposphere. Those are perhaps rockets, missiles, or another kind of weapon utilized in the war. But scientists believe it's unclear what they are, therefore they disagree. UFOs were formerly regarded to be little more than a conspiracy theory, but now security services and experts around the world are actively studying this area of study. That's all for today. Provide us with your feedback if you liked the video. Also, if you want to get updated about our newest videos, click the notification bell never to miss one. Stay tuned till the next video.